Hey everyone, welcome back. This is my review of Ghoul anime episode the 4 entitled Supper. Very good episode of Tokyo Ghoul. Favorite episode in the series so far. Why? Because we got a lot of plot progression. Okay? A lot of plot progression in this episode. A lot of things were basically explained in this episode. First off, we got something that I think most of us have been wondering for a while now, or at least these past 3 episodes. Can ghouls and humans fall in love and make offspring? And the answer to this is normally no. If a ghoul and a human were to fall in love, they would normally not even be able to make offspring. On the off chance that they could, though, either the offspring or the mother or both would end up dying. However, on the off chance that the offspring did survive, then that offspring would be born as a half ghoul, half human, a one-eyed ghoul, and that ghoul would be much stronger than any full-blooded ghoul. So, very interesting. Now, my question though is, does that apply to Kaneki? Because he wasn't actually born a half-blood ghoul. But he's still technically a half-blood ghoul, due to Rize's organs being transplanted in him. So does that apply with him? Very interesting question. Okay, very, very interesting. I really want to know that. Okay, so that's the, I think, the most major thing that we learned in this episode. We also got a scene with Toko and her, basically at school with a friend of hers, and her friend has her eat some of her food, and then Toko later goes to the bathroom, and at first it seems like she's going to throw it up, but then she actually forces herself to eat it. So we get a little bit more to her sympathetic side there, I guess, because she's good to her friends. She valued that food, I guess, because her friend gave it to her. So she actually does have friends. She's not just pretending to be friends to fit in. It seems like she actually does have friends, or at least this one friend. Okay, so which I also thought was a pretty interesting scene with Toko, and it's helping to develop her character a little bit more, I guess. Because I really liked Toko as a character, okay? When I first started watching this series, I thought she was going to come off as just your token tsundere of the series. I really did. But thankfully, that's not the case, okay? I actually really like her character, and I really enjoyed that scene to help develop her character. Now, we also get a little bit more insight on this guy named, I forget what his name is. He's basically that suited guy that came into the bar at the end of the last episode. He's in the 20th district. I guess it looks like he's the head of the 20th district, or at least pretty high up on the food chain in the 20th district, no pun intended. And he basically tricked Kaneki in this episode to meeting him there, but instead just threw him in an arena where he was almost killed, and then tried to make up for it at the end by saying it was just supposed to be a joke. Fuck that. And also, it seems like he had some sort of a history with Rize, because the two of them were acquaintances. Apparently, the two of them used to like to talk about books and whatnot, but when this guy asked Rize if she wanted to join the 20th district to eat ghouls, she basically refused him, and so he basically hated her for that ever since then. And we also learn in this episode that ghouls can't eat other ghouls, which is something another thing we've been wondering, basically. Can ghouls eat ghouls? And we learn in this episode, in fact, no. Ghouls can't actually eat other ghouls. It tastes disgusting for them. Basically, it's similar to them eating human food. Okay? However, is Kaneki an exception because he's part human, which is a rarity, even though, again, he wasn't actually born that way. It's still a rarity, so is Kaneki an exception to that rule? Another interesting question that I really want to get answered. Okay, because if he's not an exception to that rule, which obviously that giant fucking behemoth guy in the arena was going to probably eat him, or at least maybe share him. So I'm guessing that no, in fact, half-bloods, no matter whether they're born that way or made that way, actually aren't or actually are immune to that ghoul, and they can be eaten by other ghouls, and they'll taste delicious. So very interesting. A very plot-heavy episode. It progressed the plot great, okay? The music is always as great, and so is the animation. The animation did not fail us in this episode, thankfully. Overall, a very enjoyable episode. I really like this episode of Tokyo Ghoul, okay? I really had no issues with it. And that guy is fucking creepy, okay? But he's kind of awesome at the same time. It makes me wonder what exactly is going to happen. It makes me wonder also how many other half-ghouls are there in the world right now? In the world of Tokyo Ghoul right now? How many actually are there? And will Kaneki have to fight some others? Probably, considering their power level, probably being the only one who could. Or maybe there'll be some who will help him out. Or maybe a combination of both. A lot of questions were answered in this episode, but a lot of questions were also brought up again in this episode, okay? It kind of did a little bit of both there. But anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.